What up, all my fight fans? So this past Saturday, UFC had a fight itself. It had Sergey Pavlovich versus Curtis Blades. So what ends up happening? Well, Sergey Pavlovich, surprisingly, which I think it really surprised everybody, ended Curtis Blades by a first round knockout. At the end of the day, yeah, maybe it wasn't like a super big surprise because we did and have seen Curtis Blades get finished before by like Derek Lewis and Francis Ngannou, twice by Francis. I think what really surprised us in this fight was so very few takedown attempts by Curtis. He seemed extremely tentative. I'm 100% sure what happened. Maybe there was something more behind it. But for right now, what we got is it really looked Curtis Blades was just trying to mix things up with Sergey Pavlovich. And that's something you don't want to do because we've seen Sergey's power. We've seen how brutal he is. And he is a very, very strong dude who hits extremely hard. What a dream matchup that would be for Sergey versus Francis Ngannou. That would be one hell of a fight. One of those guys is going to sleep for sure. But still, at the end of the day, Sergey ended up winning, and Curtis Blades very surprised us. Like I said, surprised us all by not really going for much of his takedowns, not going for what he's actually really good at. He knows that he's not the very best when it comes to striking against other heavy hitters. That's always been his like Achilles heel, his downfall. He was able to put away so many other opponents, but at the end of the day, when it came to heavy strikers, when it came to really good power punchers like a Derek Lewis, like a Francis, he just could not do it. You do not want to try to stand in there and mix things up and trade with somebody with a bigger, stronger power punch, and like Sergey Pavlovich. But unfortunately, that's what something Curtis Blades did. He was on a tear right now. He was actually going in there. He was probably one fight away from possibly getting a title shot, which, let's face facts, he's always deserved that title shot for quite some time. But unfortunately, with this little setback, I do feel like he'll be back. I do feel like maybe a couple more wins, he'll be right in there for title contention, 100% sure. That's something for Curtis Blades. As far as an opponent goes for Curtis Blades, there's still quite a few other fighters out there, like a Tai Tuivasa, or even a Tom Aspinall right now at the moment. There's other opponents for Curtis Blades to keep himself busy. But as far as Sergey Pavlovich goes, hey, it's very tricky right now to say what is next for him, because this could very well be a number one contender fight and very well be, him fighting for the heavyweight championship of the world against John Jones. But we've been hearing a lot more speculation and a lot more rumors about this fight with John Jones and Stipe being at MSG. And the only time they're really at MSG is when they are in, it's when it's November. November is usually when they go to MSG. It's been that way for the past couple of years. So with that being said, it seems like Sergey is going to need something to keep himself a little bit busier. He's going to need something to keep himself active unless he plans on waiting around, which is not a bad idea for Sergey, because one thing about John Jones, we already know John Jones has a long reach. John Jones has those long kicks. He has those long limbs that gives other opponents very, very difficulties. Keeps them very, very at bay. It's hard to get close against John Jones. So maybe this will give Sergey some time to really develop something that also John Jones is really good at, his wrestling, his takedowns. He could pretty much take down anybody at any time, anywhere. He's always been really, really good with his wrestling and his takedown defense, of course. So maybe that's something that Sergey can actually do and keep himself busy by training his wrestling and training his technique. Even though, yeah, he is nowhere near the level of John Jones, but this could possibly be a way for him to give that time to prepare if he ends up facing John Jones, because we also hear the possible rumor of John Jones retiring after the Stipe fight. But of course, we don't know. A lot of people say no. I personally say no, but you never know what might happen. But yeah, I definitely see and feel like he could be number one, or if he wants to keep himself busy, again, there's a returning of Tom Aspinall. That could be a very fun fight too as well. There really isn't a whole lot left out there. Maybe possibly a Cyril Gane, but I don't see the purpose of that. Even the fact that, he's coming off a loss and it might hurt Sergey Pavlovich's chances. So, I don't know. I don't see a whole lot there. I guess the only key opponent for him would be a possible Tom Aspinall, and maybe Curtis Blades could face a possible Cyril Gane himself. So, those are ways to keep themselves busy. But yeah, that's what I feel what could happen for Sergey. 100%. Well, there you guys have it, guys. Hopefully you saw the fight. If you haven't, go check it out. It was one hell of a first round. One hell of a knockout for sure. Like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.